Be alert to the devil's schemes. I'm going to put another word on the board here. I like actually better than be alert. Stay alert. This perhaps is the final lesson from Judas's life. We see the statement of Jesus regarding Judas' ultimate spiritual state and the story of Jesus in the Last Supper with his disciples. And that story is recorded in John chapter 13. He's in the upper room with his disciples. They're having the last meal, the meal from which we commemorate communion. And notice the words that happened here, and John records them. John chapter 13, verse 21. Now Jesus was, what was he? Deeply troubled. And he exclaimed, so Jesus is troubled by something. And he exclaimed, I tell you the truth. One of you will betray me. The disciples looked at each other wondering whom he could mean. The disciple Jesus loved, that's John, was sitting next to Jesus at the table. Simon Peter motioned to him to ask, who's he talking about? So Peter didn't want to ask the question. He said, John, you ask him, okay? Who's he talking about? Somebody's going to betray him. So that disciple leaned over to Jesus and asked, Lord, who is it? Jesus responded, it is the one to whom I give the bread I dipped in the bowl. Do you remember that? Going back to Psalm 41, we read it earlier, a prophecy about this. And when he dipped it, he gave it to Judas, son of Simon Iscariot. When Judas had eaten the bread, Satan entered into him. Then Jesus told him, hurry and do what you're going to do. Here's what I want you to see. When Judas had eaten the bread, what happened? What was the consequence? Satan entered him. But this wasn't the first time Satan had showed up in his life. This was the moment, the final culminating moment when Judas becomes, if you will, possessed by the enemy to such a degree that there's no turning back at this point. He's gone so far now that there is no turning back from his sin. He did not come to this state overnight. Are you hearing me? It was a result of a progressive spiritual slide that now he devastatingly hits rock bottom here at this moment, and Satan actually enters into him. Satan is a tricky, deceiving foe.